I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. We are now 21 days away from arguably the most consequential election in our lifetimes. And I know that they say that every election, but looking back, we were wrong. W or Al Gore, Romney or Obama, not really consequential. You had people that you may not have agreed with, but they were decent, God-fearing folk. I mean, they weren't moronic fucking Batman villains. It seems naive when you compare it to 2024 and the burnt umber menace screaming about people eating dogs while he craps his diapers and mispronounces Arizonians.
We have many Azerasians.
Remember when the Republicans were saying Biden was addled and didn't know where he was? Okay.
She will give you a transgender operation.
What say ye now, pray tell? Okay, so here we are. Currently running for president of the United States, we have probably the most qualified candidate in decades, even more so than Democratic Jesus, B-Rock, hot stuff, Obama lamb. Let's compare and contrast. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor of one of the world's biggest cities, elected, then was DA, elected, then was the Attorney General of California, elected, then was a United States Senator, elected, and for the last 4 years was the Vice President and part of the team that turned the country around after an orange skid mark tried to end democracy and 1 million died. Biden-Harris did such a good job, people are whining about eggs instead of grandma's dead body being stored in a refrigerated U-Haul. We miss you, Nana.
I know, it'll go away like things go away.
So who is running against this paragon of competence, righteousness, and the rule of law? Douche McNasty! And he has earned that name. You know, personally, he has said he wants to date his daughter.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Called soldiers suckers and losers, ran up $7 trillion in debt, negotiated to raise gas prices with adversaries Saudi Arabia and Russia, stole top secret documents, and has been convicted of 34 felonies and has 58 more to answer for. He's a rapist. The judge said it. He was sued for raping a 13-year-old, tax cheat, wife cheat, business cheat, bankrupt cheat. The man bankrupt casinos. And that's not the first time I've said that.
The man bankrupt 4 casinos. Do you know how casinos work? People walk into the casino. They hand over all their money. And then they walk out of the casino. Somehow he found the glitch in that.
And it's not like you don't know what you're getting. In 4 years, he gave billionaires more money. He golfed 300 plus days. He took kids from their families while his family avoided him. Except for Jared, who got $2 billion from another adversary he helped raise gas prices for. In those top secret documents I talked about, he had them while he was calling his bunk bed buddy and brutal dictator Vladimir Putin. You want to hear another weird coincidence? During the time Trump had the Storage Wars amount of top secret documents in his toilet, yep! We lost more undercover and covert spies and agents worldwide than we ever have. They were captured or killed in China, Iran, North Korea, and oh look, Russia! Who had knowledge about these agents? I'm sure it's just a coincidence. So, that's your choice. An insanely qualified, even-tempered, rule of law-loving constitutionalist, or, and I'm going to quote a guy that worked for him, 4-star General Milley. This is a quote. He's the most dangerous person ever. I had suspicions about his mental decline and so forth, but now I realize he's a total fascist. He is now the most dangerous person to this country. He's a fascist to his core. And that's a dude who hung out with sweet potato Hitler. Milley also said this about Trump. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that is America. And we are willing to die to protect it. And he's right. And none of us are going to claim bone spurs to avoid fighting for America. Only one guy did that. 5 times. Vote like your way of life depends on it. Because this time it actually does.
Christopher Titus, known for hyperbole, claims that this statement is 100% factual and is so scared of the possibility of this evil moron becoming president, he may have peed himself a little.
Vote! I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I have to go change. You know, I don't really believe that we are still talking about vote for it. It should be obvious. In fact, he should have already dropped out. We should have just said, here you go, Kamala. Yeah, we're going to vote anyway just to make it official. But my God, you're obviously qualified, and this moron isn't. Hey, everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. Wow, we are so close to the election. But with me, as always, my loving pundits, the lovely and amazing Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There can be only one.
There can be only one. Okay, so I did the Armageddon Update just to compare and contrast because I was looking at the news today, and the news is just all people going, the polls are saying that it's 49-49, and I'm just like, how the fuck is that possible? But okay, we said that enough, and I just thought, let's just talk about who these two people are. And yesterday was. You just keep thinking it can't get nuttier. You just keep thinking, all right, it just can't. There's no way we can go. They're eating the dogs. How do you? That's the pinnacle.
Where do you go from there?
Where do you go? Where do you go? How do you top that? It's you know, Pulp Fiction. No one's ever beat that movie. That was his Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. That's brilliant. Yesterday, he's doing a town hall with Kristi Noem, and I'm surprised she didn't shoot him in the face after what happened, because like she shot her dog. This woman says, they're asking questions for this big arena, whatever, and he takes 2 or 3 questions. 2 people pass out. So while the paramedics...
Wait, from the questions?
From the heat. No, no, and they can't believe how stupid it was.
That
was stupid. No way, I can't. So they pass with the heat or whatever. Oh, we want to talk about Coachella too. We'll get to that after. He then stopped taking questions and he goes,
he's fluffing the dog
he's
bed.
fluffing the dog. Okay, you can.
That's not dirt.
Get ready for the podcast before the podcast. Not during, Poochie. So
there's nothing to bury underneath that.
So what happens is he stopped taking questions and started playing. He started DJing. He started DJing a town hall. He DJed that and played 39 minutes of music. Stood there and just swayed back and forth.
So instead of having the town hall, he did do his little.
That was YMCA. He's like, YMCA, crank this, plump this up. YMCA, YMCA. I'm jerking off to guys.
Wait, so was he like calling out the songs to a DJ, or did he like whip out like an iPod or something?
Okay. So let's say.
Can we just say that what YMCA is about? That he continues to use that song and do
this.
It's about dudes doing dudes at the YMCA in the locker room. That's what that entire.
It's about a policeman doing a construction man doing
in the YMCA. Yes,
Then he played James Brown. It's
you
a
can
man's
hang
world.
out with all the boys. And Trump. Could you sit him down and go, do you know the
Proud Boys? He means the Proud Boys.
That's possibly not what it's going to be.
So if you guys don't, we're not exaggerating. He exactly
stand back.
39 minutes stood at a town hall without speaking on stage and did that weird sway thing where his arms just hang. 2 different songs, which he kicked off with Ave Maria. Can I get some Ave Maria? Then he played Andrea Bocelli opera. And yeah, so it was a lot.
Sure,
and he just stood there, Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You, and swayed to it for 39 minutes while people.
And Kristi Noem kind of stood there too, like, what the fuck is going on? Listen. If you have a glitch on stage as a performer, your crew should go, something's going wrong, bring the curtain down.
Yeah.
And they just let him go, man. And
wow.
And what bothers me the most is they keep talking about how Biden was addled and Biden was this and that, and he had dementia and this. And I saw Biden this week talk about what's going on in Israel and talk about things, and he's pissed. Biden has still got his shit together. He's an old man, but he's talking mad shit.
Turns out all he needed was a DJ.
Yeah.
Right. Get some Steppenwolf going.
So he's kicking ass, and Biden's still and then I watch Trump and I'm like, how do you people say that Biden is totally unqualified, too old? And watch this guy, Arizonians. And he said that he had to say the word Arizonians, and he said, as a Mazaresians or like Asian
Oh,
Asian.
did you hear his response to that reporter about small businesses? What you plan to do to help small businesses?
Well, I helped Apple, and the guy goes, "That's really not a small business."
and then because he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of beautiful, very smart people. I was going to try and find, because it goes on for like 3 minutes. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah.
And then the guy says, the question was, what are you going to do to help small business? And the guy keeps saying, you're not answering the question.
Yeah.
I'm asking you. And then he ends up back on Apple and
Samsung.
Another
small business.
It is the weirdest.
General Motors, another just mom and pop.
and yet they press Kamala for claiming to not give details.
She broke a
or
nail on the
plans.
podium, and we think that she doesn't have the responsibility to be president because she should have known that nail was going to break. Like what? Like,
False equivalency. It's just unbelievable.
But it's because, and what I don't, again, if the man showed an ounce, a nanosecond of competence, it's something you could point to and go, well, this is what he did. The only people that can say that are people on Wall Street who are worth, 15, 20 million to $50 million. The only people that can say he did something good for them is the people that were worth $20 million and above.
Yeah, but they know that the economy is better every time there's a Democratic president.
Right?
The stock market's up every time we have a Democratic president. Unemployment's down. Inflation is down. Like,
well, stuff gets done.
Everything economically
gets done for the
better.
people. Right. Stuff gets done for the people. The middle class grows. Wages go up under Democrats. Everything. And they keep doing it. And you got to love Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, so the billionaires get the rap they deserve. If there's a lot of, if you're a billionaire, there's a lot of dead bodies behind you.
Yeah. There's the robber barons.
If you're a billionaire, you did some shit that was crazy. So Mark Cuban, I think of them is by far the best. He's kind of he came out against Trump so hard this week. He said, I was for him for a while. And he goes, I got to know him. And I'm like, holy shit. The guy's just, he's a moron and he's evil. And then I read General Milley. General Milley worked with him. He was the chief of staff, not the chief of staff, defense. What do they call it? I'm a comedian.
Head honcho.
Big
cheese.
Of the guys with guns. Head honcho of the guys with guns. Thank you.
The big pew pew.
The big pew pew. Yeah, he's the big pew pew guy.
The big gun.
The big pew pew. So the big pew pew guy came out and he said he's a 4-star pew pew guy, and he said, and he came out and he said, I know him. He goes, he's evil. He's evil. He's a fascist. He's the most dangerous person for America right now.
My stepdad worked with Milley.
Right.
Actually.
So we know people that know Milley, and Milley, say what you will about Milley. Milley's a good American.
Yeah, he said he didn't necessarily want to hang out and have a beer with him, but he was honorable and carried out his duties and his oath to America.
And understood what the
He was
country
the
stood
chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
Well, everybody.
There you go. The head pew pew. We said that. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
That's the layman term.
I like
the real term is head pew pew.
Yeah, blah blah. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. That's so long. Head pew pew. This guy's
That's on his letterhead.
Head pew pew.
Everybody who worked for Trump has either completely flipped on him,
40 out of
or
44.
they're in jail, or they're fucking swamp monsters.
40
in jail.
out of 44 said they would never work with him again, and then there's a bunch of people,
including the vice president.
Now we had other, like Bush W had a bunch of people got indicted and got felony trial, and he pardoned them all. Obama had nobody. Obama had nobody was indicted. Nobody. But we never had people actually get put in jail. Nixon. It goes back to Nixon. We had people the Nixon administration got put in jail. I just and maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure some of the people in W got put in jail too. We are in a place now where if you are still thinking, I don't know. Let me see. She seems, you know what it is? She laughs a lot. She giggles. She laughs. And Trump doesn't laugh. Right there. It's right there. When did you ever?
I don't know if I could take 4 years of laughing.
There's no pictures of Hitler laughing. There's no pictures of Mussolini laughing.
Actually,
to not laugh, you have to be a sociopath.
Actually, I think there are a few pictures of Hitler laughing. There are 0 of Trump laughing.
Is there a picture of Hitler laughing?
There's some of him. Yeah.
What is his
Petting
thing
his dog.
with Gloria?
That's an interesting name for a play. Hitler laughs.
Where did Gloria come from? Why is he always playing Gloria? Did somebody who sang Gloria come out and support him?
Gloria.
That's the one he always does his thing to. That and YMCA.
No, she had one hit. I opened for her once. My first.
Laura Branigan.
Laura Branigan. My first big gig was Laura Branigan.
How was it?
It was frightening. I walked out weird. Recently, I had a dream about it. I remember walking out, and I went right back to that time. I was panicked, and I was full out energy. I was running around this big stage. What's it called? It was my first gig, and they said I was like 20, 21 maybe. Mm-hmm. And my manager called me and goes, "Are you? Could you do 6,000 people?" Yeah, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" Because I was 20 and I was stupid, and I did great. I did really great. That was the day that taught me that she was very nice. Laura Brannigan, one of the nicest, very just sweet. Her management, biggest asshole I ever met, and like her manager, I realized, it's never the people that are the artists. It's usually the people that surround the artists that are the cocksuckers.
Yeah. Were these the white people?
Go ahead.
So there are 2 medical emergencies in the crowd.
Right. Because his people are 80, 90, 50.
Says that he wants to get the venue to open a set of doors to help get ventilation. Yep. But
where's he having rallies? There's no air conditioning. Where's he having rallies?
But I guess
like Jack, welcome everybody to the slaughterhouse. It's big enough. Like what?
I guess he says for security reasons they can't. But you know what? I should just open them because if anybody comes through, what's going to happen to them. Then he says it looks like she's on her feet and walking out. Let her know we'll be praying for her.
Let her know.
They've already done the Ave Maria thing after the first pass out. So now this person passes out and the venue starts playing Ave Maria again. And then he says, personally, I enjoy this. We lose weight. We lose weight. We could do this, lose 4 or 5 pounds. It's okay with me.
I'm surprised he didn't go with the Elvis thing.
Well, let's talk.
He then invited the audience to look at his favorite chart while he played his favorite version
chart.
of Ave Maria. Apparently the popular version sung by Pavarotti. Gaze at this chart while we now play the third time Ave Maria, but a different version because they're all really different.
Oh, so maybe they have a license to play that song. Okay, so they can do all the versions.
So I was listening to Nicole Wallace on the way in to the shop today, and it sounded nutty. You're making it sound way nuttier. He played the same song 3 times.
Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Who the hell wants to hear questions?
You're running for president of the United States.
He says, who the hell wants to hear questions? The people that came to your town hall.
The audience?
He then riffed for minutes about the need to win Pennsylvania before walking out to another Italian classic, which was Andrea Bocelli Conte Party. It's actually my favorite Andrea Bocelli song. So now I'm a little disgusted. Is he a man?
And you got to tell the one thing that people in the Midwest and the Trumpers really love is classical. They really love opera.
That's opera, yeah.
They love opera. They love classic opera. They really
So
do.
Apparently someone sang Ave Maria at a rally a couple times ago, and he's locked onto that. I don't know if he knows Pavarotti's dead. So then after that, for 39 minutes, they just played music while Kristi Noem stood next to him and he did his dead arm swing.
I thought he was supposed to stick to policy. Let's
At one point, they have a picture. Someone took a picture of the monitor that's in front of him. Like there's a thing where people are behind and there's a monitor that he can read. Look down and look at it. And it says, please take 2 questions before another song.
I saw that.
Holy shit.
So they're like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are you doing? Like when the crew and like the people that set it up are like, what the fuck is going on right now?
And he didn't.
No, and he did not. He did. Okay, so here's what happened recently. Look this up. So he had a rally in Coachella because California, he's going to turn it. He's going to turn California to his side. Although there's a lot of people in the Central Valley that are very
and
right wing, Orange County. He does a rally at Coachella and just leaves the people out there. So they had buses to drop them off. Well, the bus company who knows he's fucked everybody over his whole life says, we're not picking anybody up unless you pay us and we'll go get them. They refused to pay him. The Trump administration, they refused to pay him. And they stranded him out in the desert.
He did that before. Didn't he do that before?
Yes.
How do these people still follow him? How is he running for president and playing music?
If you punch me in the face.
Well, it's like lawyers. How do lawyers take him on? What's his name? Evan Corcoran made him pay $1 million up front. Remember?
I think that's the way you have to do it now. I'm going to need a retainer of $4 million. Well, then I don't want to use a lawyer. Okay. I'm not going to go for zero like you've paid everybody else. People, you got to remember that Trump had 3,500 lawsuits before he started running for president, based on people that had built his hotels, bought him stuff. What we would do with vendors was the vendors would say, okay, I need 60 grand. I'll do all the doors, but it's going to be 60 or 160 grand. He would say, fine. So we need an upfront payment. We need an upfront payment of 50,000. He'd say, fine, pay them 50,000. They'd finish the job and he'd say, that's all you get. Sue me. So he owed him 110 grand. So they would sue him. He would drag it out.
As we've seen.
Yes, he would drag it out for years, cost them another 150 in legal fees.
And they'd go bankrupt.
And he did that to many businesses. There's some woman that said my dad killed himself. It was in the news. She came out and she said, you cannot vote for this man. My father had a business and worked in the hotels, and he bankrupted my dad's business. And my father shot himself 2 years after that. So that's who you're voting for if you vote for Donald
If this
Trump.
is stressing you out and you're losing sleep,
Nice.
This episode brought to you by CB Distillery.
Yes.
You don't need all the medicine that's in your medicine cabinet as long as you have this. If you're not sleeping, if you still are in pain or you're stressed out, that's how it definitely has been for us. And this product makes
Especially
all the
you
difference
lately.
in the world. Well,
You're
me
really-
lately is a whole other ball of wax.
You're like I've had to give you a bowl of this so you can go to sleep.
It's basically like a health reset. Well, we're out now, so I have to order more, but I noticed it last night when I did not have it. CB Distillery has targeted formulations that are made from the highest quality, clean ingredients, which is important for us. No fluff, no fillers. It's just pure, effective CBD solutions designed to support your health. They did 2 different clinical studies in non-clinical surveys. 81% of customers experienced more calm. 80% said CBD helped with their pain after physical activity. And 90% said they slept better with CBD.
I like taking it before I go work out, like going to breakfast.
It helps with recovery.
Then when I go into, also helps with during the pain and recovery. Yes.
So if you have any health concerns and you're not getting relief, I highly recommend trying this. We've gotten letters from people that have chronic things, chronic pain issues, and they're like, holy crap, this is amazing. 2 million customers plus, and they give you a solid 100% money back guarantee. They're the source to trust. We have 20% off to get you started with CB Distillery. Visit cbdistillery.com. Use promo code Titus. You'll get 20% off. That's cbdistillery.com, code Titus.
It works. Can confirm.
And have a lot of letters that confirm.
Yeah.
He's backed out of his
letters, emails. We don't live in the 1800s anymore.
He's backed out of his.
She's on the ragged edge of so you have no idea what's going with the roiling nightmare of that's happening storm inside her right now, and I do, and so everything she's going to look at like right now. Right now that's happening.
And with all of that going on, I started my day with a boob MRI, which we live in modern times, modern medicine. I come home and I am welted. My face, I have red welts that I had to cover with makeup, welts across my rib cage because they put a plastic mount.
A torture rack. It's like a torture rack.
If you placed at the Olympics, the thing you might stand on. And then they put 2 holes in it for your boobs in between plastic. And then they want you to suspend your whole rib cage over it. Oh, you have an IV in your arm. You can't bend that. You have to have your arm straight, face down in a plastic mount. Why would we put a pillow on either side of that? That's ridiculous.
Or a pad of some sort. Pad it.
And so your face, and so you're basically planking for half an hour, and then they roll you into a tube. So if you have any claustrophobia, like I do, so you're face down in pain and planking. So your arms start shaking because you're suspended. Well, then that ruins the pictures and they need to start over. The thing is screaming at you the whole time.
You think we'd invent something better.
Well, don't we have an MRI machine? You can just go in like you're Tony Stark and then it's like boop, 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 and everything, your whole history, your future. It does.
It did do that.
Instead it goes ding dong, ding dong. Are there beep boops now?
Oh no, it's all of it. There's all different types. So, and they're all different lengths. This one's going to be 3 minutes. Try not to breathe big breaths. You're already in there going, try not to breathe.
So I don't go with her. I don't go with her to these appointments because I can't stand the screaming because the tube echo make it really. It's like a big echo. Yeah, it's an amp.
Like one of those RCA record
it's
players.
Not just her screaming quietly. It's like and so I'm good. We're too close to Halloween.
And I'm already have things going on, and that was what I had to start with. So that was fun.
Yeah, today's been one of those days. So if I get backhanded, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, get ready.
It's coming. It here.
That'll be used in court.
So he backed out of his he backed out of his CNBC interview, which was his second renege on a scheduled interview just in this month.
Let's just listen to music. Let's make it into a music. Who the hell wants to hear questions?
Oh my God. They posted a video of him standing there doing his weird straight arm dance sway and just put, hope he's okay. They were concerned.
CNBC did that?
No, Kamala.
She's gotten, we've been complaining about Democrats not being tough, remember, for a long time. We've been complaining that they don't have the balls to just body slam this dude. Yep. And I watched a speech yesterday, listened to it upstairs. She went after him and played part of his rally. She played, listen, watch this, people. And he said, and the audience goes, you could hear the audience guy, they were shocked and then they booed, but they were
she
like, what?
Video of him
at her rally.
That's great. It's about time. I mean, it's a little too late, but they should have been doing this all along.
I mean, but the Democrats have this thing where, I think Michelle Obama was like, when they go low, we go high. She's like, nah, click. Yeah. So I'll call you back. Michelle, I will be back. I gotta win this.
Oh, and Obama. Oh, come on.
So he was on Fox. Was it Fox? Where Trump said, I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're the big, and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
But we're the fascists.
Well, I just want to know.
Let's
move on to this in a second. But do you hear how he even puts sentences together?
Oh my God.
They're not sentences. He's just, we can handle it. So he's basically saying, just so you guys know, this is a man running to be president of America, a guy who failed at his first term, failed badly. Over 1 million died, and every study that said over 400,000 people would not have died had he just done his job. Okay, so. He just said the radical left lunatics, who he never names, the enemy within, which is, by the way, a Hitler quote. It's what Hitler used to talk about the Jews, the enemy within Germany. So he's using Hitler's language. He's literally going to Hitler's greatest hits. And he's saying that he's going to sick the military, our military, on American citizens. Didn't say what they did. They did nothing wrong. Radical left lunatics. So everything he's doing is to scare dumb people.
Yep.
And I put up a quote on Threads yesterday about Hitler. Hitler said something about if you keep, you have to depend on the stupid. Basically, this is paraphrasing. Hitler said you have to depend on the stupidity of the public. They don't understand. They are uneducated. So if you keep saying, you find simple things to say them over and over and over, and eventually they will accept it.
And I put to you people that are supporting him.
Are you putting to us?
That aren't watching or listening to us. If you, because they like that, that's powerful. Yeah, we'll use the military and we'll shut Nancy Pelosi down.
Then we'll kill the woke.
What makes you think, if you live in a military state, if you're now in a country that's run by a dictator that solely benefits himself, why do you think that you're safe? You're not. You're also subject to that leadership.
Well, it's because he said he loves the poorly educated. That's why.
Yeah.
And that's
so
me.
It must be me.
And that's me. Okay. So I'm the poorly educated.
Yeah, it's not at me.
I'm the poorly educated. Yeah. It's not going to hurt me.
To be fair, he did take questions at that rally.
Okay.
Or at the
for?
Town hall or whatever.
Wait, Coachella. Can you look up the Coachella thing too?
I will.
Okay.
He was asked about his plan to address high grocery prices. And his answer included references to Hannibal Lecter,
Oh,
who remains a
he eats.
fictional character
Okay.
that he frequently talks about.
Fava beans are going to drop.
and faces. Yeah, okay.
And,
got it.
and
And-
Chianti, drop.
And then said immigrants are taking black jobs. So he hasn't even learned from all the trolling about saying black jobs, but okay. During another exchange, Trump encouraged all of his supporters to get out and vote on January 5th.
Black jobs. You mean like the vice president and the president?
Wait.
What black jobs are you talking about? You mean the head of
Okay.
the Joint Chiefs?
But we've already done that.
King Pew Pew is a black guy now.
We're already done that.
Okay.
We already, because Michelle Obama trolled him the worst on
Yeah.
black jobs.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And,
that was like, oh shit.
And the gymnast tweeted, I love my black job. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now.
Kim Coles. No, that was the
No.
actress.
What is happening? Simone Biles.
Simone Biles. That's right.
He then, you didn't hear me, but he encouraged all of his supporters to get out and vote on January 5th.
Yes, do
Yeah,
that.
please.
Do
God,
that.
yes, yeah. God, all
One
you
thing
guys,
I agree with.
all you right wingers, all you Republicans. January 5th, you hit those polling places, hit those ballot boxes, and I'll bet you the lines are going to be shorter than normal.
Because on January 6th, there's going to be a big celebration at the Capitol.
I love
Anniversary.
Washington Post had a headline that read Trump sways and bops to music for 39 minutes in bizarre town hall episode. That was the whole title.
Do you know what's never happened in all this time? Every time he has a press conference, every time he hits the mic, no one's gone, wow, that went well. He made some really valid points, salient points. In fact, he said a couple of things that we think maybe may have changed my opinion of him. That's in 9 years that hasn't happened.
He's never quoted ever for saying something that is like,
That makes sense.
Oh, okay, I agree with that. It's always for insanity.
But do you guys know
From day one.
the purpose of a town hall? I just feel like we can't overlook
Yeah,
that.
you're supposed to answer questions from the audience.
That's what a town
And
hall
dance.
is.
Yeah, and DJ. Book it. Yo, everybody, welcome to the town hall. We're about to do this. YMC, everybody. At one point, Christy Nome did a Y. At one point, she did it like,
Oh no.
oh, yes, she did.
come on.
Oh, yes, she
To
did.
the song about gay men.
Didn't he play the Titanic theme at another rally?
Yes.
What
Which
the
is so, how can you not get it? How are you that dumb that you
God,
don't?
they're so stupid.
It's because so many people have threatened, have sent cease and desist that there's not much left.
Yeah.
Clearly, Ave Maria is still on the table.
It's just like stock music.
There's 35
It's
million
not
songs
Pavarotti.
ever made.
It's actually like the children's choir
Yeah, like
from
public
Moore Park.
domain.
Yeah.
And even they're coming out, third grade crowds. You cannot use our music anymore in any planet or universe.
You're going to need to stay in shape. It's very important with this election coming up. This episode
'Cause of the
brought to
Armageddon.
you by a new company
Yep.
called Create. Create creatine. They give you creatine
I've already
in
started.
gummy forms instead of that
Powder that
Yep.
makes you choke.
that doesn't dissolve in anything.
No, you're right.
They taste good. Can confirm. Also, you can travel with them. You can take them on the road. I used to travel with little baggies of white powder.
So I've started using them already.
That was cocaine, but I liked creatine.
They sent us
too.
some. I've started using it.
Mhm.
I have noticed that two things.
No loading phase with these either.
I have noticed two things. I'm taking 5 grams, three of them are 5 grams,
Mhm.
4.5 grams. I'm taking 4 because I'm trying to build up a little bit. And I have noticed that I have started to pump up a little bit. I don't know if that yet.
So here's the
does it.
thing.
Yeah.
So like old forms of creatine when I was competing and before, like years before that, even when I was dating a guy that was bodybuilder, you had to load creatine. I have to
That feel
say,
good?
I have to reference it because
It's bodybuilder.
It was a model.
I did a
And it
bodybuilder
was,
model. Yeah, it was. He's
I
also
did-
secret
It was a
agent.
bikini.
He's also
I
secret
did
agent.
date a model,
Oh,
which I
fuck.
casually
Here we go.
mentioned one night, and he looked him up because his name is very, very
Modelly.
and
Sergio.
No.
Cody Maverick. Yeah.
doesn't exist
It's
anywhere
literally-
else on the planet,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's dead. So that
Literally
ended our
Giga Chad.
evening on a down tone.
Well, not all of us had it down though.
He's dead.
Oh, he's dead?
Oh,
Yes.
the
What did you
model.
do?
The model's dead. Oh,
You're the one that told me the model was
Yeah.
dead.
I remember listening to it. I was like, but I didn't say it like.
You
oh.
actually said, "I'm so sorry,"
Yeah, because she got bummed out.
because he's my age.
And he was a model.
So, well, the world needs more good-looking model guys on the planet.
Jesus. Christ.
So the point being,
I'm right here.
you need to, well, you, rare. Especially since you started creatine because my point
nice,
being,
nice.
they're going to be like, hey guys, can you just talk about our product and not dead people?
That's not what we do.
So it's not like it used to be, like where it was for bulking and you had to have your loading phase and that was a whole thing. So if you can be a woman and you just want to tone muscle, a guy that's looking to bulk, sleep deprived parent that needs energy, cognitive boost, or you could be an older person, grandparent age, and you're looking to maintain your muscle, not become a little stick figure, then creatine gummies can help. Old myths about, and this was true 25 years ago, but myths now about bloating, hair loss, loading phase, all that crap, they're not backed by science.
Creatine's one of the most studied.
Has no bloating, no cramping, no hair loss.
Nope.
It's like you could skip one of your regular cups of coffee and have this instead and have that benefit from it.
I think I'm going to switch though because I've been taking it after my workouts. I'm going to take it before the workouts for this reason.
They're NSF certified for sport, so there's no testing flags. They use Creapure. It's third-party tested, made in the USA, vegan, non-GMO, 100% natural ingredients, 1.5 grams creatine per gummy. So if you're having 3...
And they're gummies.
That's the best part.
I do love
creatine.
I do.
Metallic disgusting.
My problem is that I'll sit and just eat a bag of them.
Because sometimes when you go to get creatine or a supplement to help you, because here's the thing, people, and this is scientific studies have said that the more muscle you keep on, the longer you live.
Mm-hmm.
And the better your mobility.
And the better your mobility, the less you're going to break something because you got more padding if you fall. So whenever I get done with the workout, and so you got to take creatine, I always forget because you got to get the can out, you got to get the scoop, you got to put it in water, it never dissolves. You're like, gummies, 3-4 gummies.
You'll get added focus, energy, benefits that you don't directly see, like improvements in bone density and protection against muscle decay, which is what you're talking about. Get 30% off any subscription or one-time purchase of Create 90 count bags at trycreate.com/Titus. Sorry, not .com.co/Titus. Let me give you that again. Trycreate.co/Titus.
No T, just
Titus.
No, it's okay. She's very stressed, guys. There's something coming up tomorrow that's very.
Hold on.
I just said my own last name.
Of her.
Titus.
Because I've been working out, and I am.
All right, get 30% off.
Are you doing it again?
Let's start over. This episode brought to you by get 30% off any subscription or any one-time purchase of Create 90 count bags at trycreate.co/Titus. That's trycreate.co/Titus for 30% off your order.
Very nice. That's
almost there.
Third time. I'm like close.
I got that
close.
one. I thought I nailed it.
Coachella. So Coachella.
I was trying to find that answer to the small business question because wow, did he not know an answer? And the words didn't ultimately have anything to do with the question, and most people let him get away with it, but this reporter kept saying, all due respect, the question was, and said it again.
Yeah. That's not a small business. And he kept trying to cover himself. I listened to it on the way in, what you're talking about. It was, Nicole Wallace played it. And I have to be honest with you. You really understand that this man was given $400 million by his father. He lost it all. But because he had taken so many loans out based on that money, he's like $2 billion into debt. Do you know he made $2.1 billion while he was president?
Did you see the interview with Bloomberg editor-in-chief John Micklethwaite? He actually interrupted Trump during the event on Tuesday as he was talking about wars to say the question was actually about tariffs. This was at that Economic Club of Chicago event that he spoke at.
He looks like an idiot.
Responding to that, he said the country has a great military. Micklethwaite stopped him again to reiterate, I'm asking about tariffs. With great respect, I was asking about tariffs. You've gone off about that. Seeing that you've brought up tariffs and foreign policies, many people would say the biggest problem with your tariffs is actually geopolitics. He's like nailing him down because he doesn't know.
He doesn't know what geopolitics is. He doesn't even he
doesn't know what geo is. He doesn't know what
smoke at one point started coming out of Trump's left ear.
He goes, how does it help you take on China if you turn all of your allies against you? Trump says tremendously because China thinks we're stupid. Trump goes, not one president has charged China. our allies have taken advantage of us more than our enemies. Guy's still asking him about tariffs. He's still
China's not our ally.
And we're not charging China.
What are you talking about? The tariffs don't go to fucking China.
It charges us. It
So
charges
I want
our
to let everybody know what
importers.
he's doing. Because Trump, you have to understand, it's always a grift. Here's what he is smart about. Trump is very, very, very smart about the grift. He always figures out the grift. He's not smart. Geopolitics, you bring up anything, like you try to nail him down on a smart policy question, he's a moron. When it comes to the grift, so Trump wants to give all his buddies and billionaires and millionaires more tax breaks, right?
Yes.
So he wants to continue this. So the problem is that every economic genius that has looked at it, every economist that has actually seen it has said it's going to bump the deficit up base level, $5 trillion.
Because he wants to do it across the board.
Base level, $5 trillion. And by the way, the people that make the least money aren't going to get the tax breaks. So, but billionaires are and millionaires are. So once these economists came in and said it's going to cost you $5 trillion, and which makes him look really bad because he already burned $8 trillion in the first term. What happens is he goes, well, how do I pay for that? He starts talking about tariffs. And what he's doing is he knows the dumb people will believe anything he says. They will believe that the weather is being operated by the government. They will believe that they're injecting microchips into you. They will believe that this disease that just killed grandma and grandpa is a hoax. They'll believe it. So he's telling people we're going to charge China. He said today, 1,000% tariffs, 1,000%. 1,000%. He said up to 1,000%. Where he goes, they're not going to be able to sell a car here. And I just want to go, do you know how many fucking cars, how many parts are built here? Do you know how many Japanese companies or Chinese, like they have like factories here?
Yeah, right.
Like you fuck. So here's what tariffs are, people. And you're going to listen to this. Now I want you to look back on this. I've read this. Back in the 20s and 30s, there was a thing called the Smoot-Hawley. Smoot-Hawley was across-the-board tariff situation. The day after Smoot-Hawley passed, we had Black Thursday, and the stock market went to half. That's the beginning of the Depression. What will happen if he does this is here's how tariff works. And here's why Trump thinks he's telling you we're charging China. TV costs. China. TV
he
costs.
explains this every week.
I know, because you know why? Because I'm doing what Trump does. Because you get it the first time. Dumb people don't. Tariffs are this. TV costs $100. Yeah. Trump puts 1,000% tariff on that. That TV now costs $1,000.
The importer pays that money
and then charge it. And then it goes on the.
China's not going to go. China. They're not going to go. You know what? They raised those tariffs on this TV. I'm just going to let the American public have this TV for the same price and cover those tariffs Trump put on this TV for them.
You know what? That's cutting into our profit, but we're going to eat it for the American public.
Mm-hmm. God bless the USA.
Ouch.
So
somebody really play Ave Maria.
So let's say you want to buy a Honda. All right, Honda's $30,000. Trump puts a 200% tariff on that. 100% tariff on it. That car's now $60,000. Guess where that money is charged to? Honda doesn't pay it. You pay it.
Right.
You pay it. So every tariff he's talking about, he's adding a tax to you. Economists have said that if he does this with the tariffs that he's proposing, it's basically like an extra tax on every American of $4,000 a year.
Yes.
So we are now at a place where this fucking moron who knows shit about business but is a great grifter is telling you he's charging another country. Hate those bad guys. Oh, we're going to charge the Mexicans and we're going to charge the Chinese. And he's not. He's charging you.
They're not. It's a group of people. It's like some of them will believe anything, super gullible, fucking dumb. And then there's a group of people who aren't paying attention to any of these details, any of the shit that he's ever done.
That's what you think.
And they don't care.
Yeah, we're knee deep in it. So you're
Most
right.
people don't care.
And there's another group that just doesn't care.
Like 65% of the
I like
public.
his policies. That's what they say. And all they know about his policies is anti-trans, anti-gay, and anti-abortion. End of story. They're not,
Right.
They don't care. They're not going to look into this. They don't want to hear what you think. They're not voting for someone who supports equality, because that's just crazy talk.
And them damn Mexicans.
Especially not a woman. Speaking of women, this female-founded company, this episode brought to you by OneSkin, all-woman team of scientists. OneSkin is the first and only skin longevity company.
And one of the reasons I look so
target
good at my age.
dead cells, which is why we're aging, because you have dead cells in you, which is terrifying.
You have dead cells.
You have more dead
You
cells.
have dead
You have a lot
cells.
more dead cells.
Your cells are cadaver cells.
You start accumulating senescent cells in your 20s. That seems so.
That
Really, you
tracks.
only
Early.
really have your youth for
20?
teens. This is depressing. They're also called zombie cells. And they're the ones that stop producing the collagen and hyaluronic acid. That's what makes us look like we're not cadavers. And they start putting out an inflammatory substance that makes the cells around them dysfunctional too. So this is how we age. So these female scientists
So
team
the cells
got
go to
together.
basically like a family reunion, and then it makes everybody pissed
Well,
off.
it is like
when they have
zombie
like a
cells
ma-
because don't zombies make each other zombies? If you encounter a zombie, then you become a zombie.
You have to get
and-
bitten by a zombie, yeah. So these cells
I
are
thought that
zombie
was
cells.
vampires.
Well, both.
Zombies bite you too?
Yeah.
I thought they ate you.
You faint at a rally, and then you become.
I sang Ave Maria and also.
I bet you did.
I actually know the words to it in Latin. So what they did is they got together in a lab and decided that they were going to target these senescent cells and find a peptide that would reverse that, which doesn't exist in skincare. It's all about just masking what's happening. And so they found OS1 peptide. It's scientifically proven to decrease lines and wrinkles, boost hydration, and help with the thinning skin that we all get as we get older.
Speak for yourself. Finish the ad, for God's sakes.
YMCA.
I like that they back it. Like, this is a team of women badasses. Whoop.
Yeah, they are.
They back it up with research. They did a 12-week clinical study, and it was performed by a third-party research organization. They found that OS1 Face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin's barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish the visible signs of aging. Wrinkles were diminished in 87% of users. I love the OS1 Face. I love the OS1 Eye, and I love, love, love the OS1 Body.
I noticed such a difference on my on this massive forehead. By the way, I have to get the big bottle because this is
a lot of real
acreage.
estate.
There's
Yeah,
acreage.
yeah.
Yeah, this
The
is
one
like
that's for body, he has to get that.
Yeah,
face
the whole
paint,
right.
just for his forehead.
and the trowel. But I noticed a huge change in the way, because over the summer it got a little flaky, a little dry, and it was like 2 times once it gone. Perfect.
OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. You can try it out today. You'll get 15% off using code Titus at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code Titus. After you buy it, at the end, they're going to ask you how you heard about it and put Titus Podcast so that they know that we sent you.
The reason we don't do a Patreon or anything, guys, is because we actually take advertising, and we only take companies. The good news is we only take companies that we believe in and use. So,
Kamala Harris is stumping in the city that's still owed $40,000 by the Trump campaign in Erie.
I would bring
because he
that
was
up.
just there September 29th.
It'd be great if she paid that off. How badass would that be?
They say
that's
that he owes more than $40,000 for public safety costs, and it's been
This is all around.
17 days since he was
Not
there.
only that, but this goes countrywide. He wasn't paying any of his bills.
No. The mayor's office told Newsweek that Trump's campaign has had outstanding bills there in Erie since 2018.
Yes, I told you that.
In
So
his wake.
this goes back. This is what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Sue me. So he says, "Sue me. I have enough money."
Do you know who those costs go to? You want to guess?
The people, the taxpayers of the city.
Police, fire, and public works personnel all working overtime. But he backs the blue. That's what I'm saying. Nothing they ever say is backed up with action.
Right.
As my mom would say, talk is cheap.
Yep.
And it is. He just says shit and then does the exact opposite.
And listen, people, that if you're out there and you're watching our podcast or listening to it all, and you actually are still undecided, which I doubt highly, but as Ray said, but what I don't quite get is, at the end of the day, this guy's a scumbag. He's shown us every day he's crazy. He's a scumbag. He said he's going to be a dictator on day one. It's not like I'm making any of this up.
Yeah.
I'm not going, we just don't like that guy. He does that. The radical lunatic left.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? The guy that turned the economy around, that got the supply chain working, that got that's why I said now I'm going to get an update. You guys, the economy turned around so fast and got back. Well, Biden, I said, oh, Biden. I said, oh, Biden. Oh, Biden got
See,
it back
it's
together.
not just me. He's talking about Sleepy Joe.
He got everything
Crazy Nancy.
But he got everything working. He got everything going, passed legislation. The Inflation Reduction Act actually reduced inflation. We are now back to a lower inflation than we had for the Trump administration. But here's the thing.
I don't care about that,
But
Titus.
we're not.
All I care about, I'm not voting for somebody that performed gay marriages and said that trans kids should be able to get health care.
It didn't happen.
And how dare
about
you-
Tampon Tim?
Say,
Putting tampons in boys'
lunches
bathrooms.
for children.
What the fuck are you talking about? It didn't happen.
Trump said on a podcast last week, I do a thing called the weave. He's explaining why he can't answer questions. And there are those that are fair that say, this guy is so genius. And then others said, I rambled. I don't ramble. A person needs to have extraordinary memory to be able to accomplish my genius move called the weave. I call it the weave. Lion Kamala, Lyin apostrophe Kamala. That was my favorite moment.
He spelled it.
You need an extraordinary memory, and this is going to remind you of something, because you have to come back to where you started. A weave is only good if you can go back. So I can go so far here or there, and I can come back to exactly where I started.
And if they ask you every 15 minutes later and you say it, you get extra points.
He's even lying about how he lies.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
No, I'm genius because I can go back.
So what he's telling us is I make shit up. Mm-hmm. I do a thing called the weave. Let me tell you how I avoid fucking answering questions and doing anything policy or saying anything of substance. I do a thing called the weave. Also, I don't use it on my hair, which would work. But I heard something funny yesterday.
Said it's okay as long as you end up in the right location at the end.
You know, Adam Carolla is someone who I really respected for a long time. He really right wing. He did a thing. Him and we kind of got sideways because he said this thing about black people one day on his podcast, and I reacted to it. And I get that I'm very righteous and whatever. So, but I heard something. I was listening to comedy radio, and Carolla came on, and he did this thing about Trump because he was on The Apprentice. And you guys think that hair is weird on TV? He goes, on TV, it kind of looks okay. He goes, I was there because I saw it up close. He goes, you ever seen a diseased kelp bed? And he goes, it's just barely holding on.
Yeah.
It's just barely holding. And he kind of went off about how bad Trump really is. And I respected him again. I was like, all right, he actually called it out. But I listen, man, we shouldn't be afraid that this guy could possibly get in again. It just goes to show that the years of destroying our education system has fucked us, because now we don't have any critical thinkers. You know, as I talk about in my new show, the fifth generation problem. In the 60s, after World War II, parents are like, we got to get my kids in college. We got to get smarter. We can't go to war again. War is horrible. Look at all the people we lost, everything. So it was really in their heads that we need to become an intellectual society so we don't go to war again. We're going to be stupid and fight. Let's fix it. There's solutions to the problems without fighting. In the 60s, we had people rebelling because they were smart enough to understand how bad the government was fucking them. And now we have a bunch of people that are being told they're getting fucked. And I've looked, guys, I've spent 12 years from Obama on going deep into this because of this podcast. And we're not getting fucked.
I think that group has always been there, but with social media and algorithms, how algorithms are designed to give you just what you want to see, is creating. It's giving them a voice, right? Yeah. And they're getting their message that they want to keep getting. So it's riling them up to now they're a full blown political movement.
We can try to explain it intellectually, or we can just say this. There are people that believe the earth is flat, that it's a disk floating in space like a frisbee, and there's an ice wall on the edge that we can never go over. People fucking believe that.
Those same people tweeted on the Flat Earthers Twitter account, when it was still Twitter, that it was gaining steam across the globe. So I just think maybe we should consider who identifies.
Our movement.
It's going around the world.
It's going worldwide. You moron. So they believe that the government was injecting like we've become a level of stupid that will end us. Mm-hmm. That's the problem I have, is that it's not like it's cute and funny that there's dumb people.
Yes.
It's that there is enough of them now that the lack of intellectual capacity that they're not even trying to like figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, go look it up. I don't need to look it up. I know it's bullshit. It's the mainstream media. Okay.
And
so
that too.
So you're not even going to look it up. You're not even going to like go to 10 different sites. No?
Yeah, they're not going to. Nah. And we would talk about the media too, that back in the day when there was only 3 stations and they had, the fairness doctrine and all those things were in place and they had to have journalistic integrity. They don't have that anymore. There's news all the time and it's full of lies. And now here we are.
Were you telling me that somebody used to was an assistant to Walter Cronkite? Who's telling you? Cronkite? Sorry, Cronkite?
See, Titus.
Walter Cronkite. Titus has lost his mind. Walter Cronkite had this thing where I think it was a pundit talking about it. I was friends with an assistant to Walter Cronkite and said that unless he had 3 sources, he wouldn't report it. And she used to be frustrated because she would go, so like, they beat us. Like sometimes we got beat, but Walter Cronkite never fucked it up.
Yeah.
Dan Rather, same way. Very, very good. Dan Rather, there was a great quote. It should be coming up. He said something about the current media because the problem I'm having right now is our fucking media. Like we get to, because we're a podcast and we're just a bunch of goofball comedians and shit, we can say what we want and we can say the truth. These guys, because they're owned by right-wing corporate, CNN is owned by a fucking right-wing billionaire who's donated to the Trump campaign. So you've got these rich people that are telling, hey, it's my business, say what I tell you to say. And if you look at CNN, since they got rid of Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, they talk about Trump like, he's the viable candidate. There's a guy named Scott Jennings that is such a fucking liar. Got called out by George Conway on air, and CNN jumped George Conway.
Wow.
George Conway goes, "You're lying. That didn't happen." Whoa, George. Whoa. Scott Jennings, a paid pundit here. And I just wanted to go, yeah, but he's lying. Yeah. And the thing is that we have now, George Orwell would just be having a fucking field day. George Orwell was so right. But it's happened throughout history, man. What's going to happen now? What has to happen? Unless we get a leader that can stop it, what's going to happen is we are going to go to, we're already on the way, Israel, Iran, China, Russia. We are on the way to something fucked up. We are on the way to another world war.
Dan Rather actually got pushed out. For
having integrity?
No.
Sexual harassment.
No, he actually did a story.
Stop saying shit that we can get busted for. Just he killed a guy, shot a guy.
I edited it. I can cut it if I need to.
He murdered a child.
He did a story.
Quit guessing horrible crimes.
He was reporting on W's National Guard service, and he relied on fabricated documents to allege that W got special treatment and that his superiors had been ordered to lie about his record.
Oh, so
they had to do follow-up reporting, but he was forced out and his contract expired 18 months later and they still made him go.
Did he do it on purpose? He knew he was doing that?
He relied on, it was not well fact-checked documents. They weren't real.
Well, Pucci knew that. Pucci said, I know that.
Sniffed it out.
This episode also brought to you by Miracle Made. This is the last one. We save it for last. It's still freaking hot in California, so Miracle Made sheets are working overtime at the Titus household.
I don't like these.
If you wake up too hot or too cold, highly recommend that you try these Miracle Made bed sheets. They are inspired by NASA, and they use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, which I need for sure. Also, traditional bed sheets hold on to bacteria and all kinds of nastiness more than a toilet seat.
Did you make that up?
No. Well, you think about it. Okay. People
wash your ass.
This was the rabbit hole my brain went down when I first read this.
I don't like your rabbit holes at all. I live with you.
So
that's what you got to clean.
Walk around the house in your shoes that you walked around in outside. And when they tested shoes, it was the same as money. They found blood, cocaine, and poop.
Crimes.
Yeah. Then you walk around our house in them. Mm-hmm. You go, even if you take a shower before bed, but I have found out a lot of people don't. Let's just take a shower before bed. But you walk around. You go get tea You like to go get tea
For you.
in your bare feet, and for you, mostly for you. And
Any military
And
crawls,
popcorn.
rolls.
I got bugged for popcorn last night.
last night I was like, "Why are you here without popcorn?"
She's such a lot of conversation with why are you here?
No.
Fill in the blank.
So you walk around in your bare feet, where you've walked around with the poop and the blood and the cocaine, and then you get into bed, and then you might Saturday you might stay in that bed till 3. You
And the
get
feet
kinda
move
nucky,
around.
a little sweaty, a little BOE, and it's just all soaking into those sheets. Now, how often do people wash their sheets? I'm just saying, Miracle Made has
We
made
do.
me go down this rabbit hole, and I'm totally freaked out. They have a whole line of self-cleaning, antibacterial bedding. They have sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth, thereby requiring up to 3 times less laundry. They're also super, super comfortable, like luxury level comfort. He'll drink it out of the lid of my Stanley. He's trained. Also great for your skin, because if you think about you're sleeping on that nastiness, it clogs your pores and gives you breakouts. So this is better for your face. Go try miracle.com/Titus.
And all that stuff aside, they are so comfortable. They're just they feel quality. You get in bed.
That's
like,
what I said. It's
I,
like
every
luxury.
night I get in bed. I go, my favorite time is to climb into bed next to her and watch TV.
Go to trymiracle.com/Titus to try Miracle Made sheets today, whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift. If you order today, you can save over 40%, and then use promo code Titus at checkout. You'll get 3 free towels and save an additional 20% on top of that. They give you a 100% money back guarantee, because they know you're going to love them. If you don't like them, they'll give you a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40%. Try Miracle.
And I know we spend a lot of time on ads. I'm going to say this again, guys. We don't charge a Patreon. You get to listen to us, and you gotta sit through ads. But I will tell you this: every product we do advertise, we use, and it's awesome.
We get the oddest complaints.
We do get complaints. People are like, free podcast that you give us free that you spend all the production time on, you pay for. You got a lot of ads.
Well, a girl wrote in and wants you to stop rubbing your nose so much.
I saw that.
It's distracting.
That was. And
he has the worst Here's his problem. You and I both know he's got horrible allergies.
I do not.
You do.
But he lives in denial.
Have you heard my voice? I do not have allergies at all.
You know how many times I hear you sneezing
He
in the other room?
sneezes a lot. He and we're
I
man enough to
am
admit.
fine.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
am good.
I say bless you, or I say something,
too, yeah.
no response. Like he doesn't hear that I care for you.
I scream, fuck you, I'm fine. That's what I
We're
say.
both woman enough to admit that we have allergies. And
I don't have allergies.
also, you need to trim your
Listen.
nose hair. You need to...
So I like that we're going over my hygiene now. That we.
I live in a no shoe household. Speaking of Miracle Made and hygiene,
We decided to do that. She went.
Oh, good.
She went down this rabbit hole.
We're going to be the weird no shoe
Yesterday.
people.
it's not weird. Okay.
It's weird when people come over, like when I've gone to people's house for a Christmas party and it's cold, so I'm wearing like knee-high boots or something.
And they're smoking.
And I look well put together, and then they go, you got to take those off. And I've got on like clown socks, red and yellow striped clown
Not
socks
matching.
or whatever knee-high I found. And yeah, so
And
that's
they don't
not my
match. You
favorite.
got
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got 2 different socks on.
not my favorite.
Thanks for making me weird, guys. I was smoking, and now I'm weird.
You got to tell people ahead of time. Like, look,
There's some more like buzz going on about this Menendez brothers case, and I
Yeah,
wish that Netflix would quit making documentaries, because that gets
It's the-
people paying attention to it
But
and trying to
also-
reopen it.
Also, can I talk about? I watched it. I think I'm on episode 7
I had
now.
to stop.
You had to stop.
I don't watch it.
It is the most soul-sucking
Mhm.
evil that and listen, man, I can deal with, like, there's a great movie called Alien Covenant. It's the newest Alien movie. It's so scary. It's so good. So good. I was like, oh, I'm scared out of my mind.
yeah.
But I was excited, scared out of my mind. It was so good. And then I watched it. But the Menendez brothers thing on Netflix is such a different level of horror, where you're just like these are the most evil, fucking darkest. Like, it makes Puff Daddy and Trump look like, okay.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
And the brothers are so, and the older brother, is the older brother? One of the brothers is just like the most.
The older one is the one that's so
fucking. It bruises your soul a little bit.
Yeah,
like how evil these guys.
Is
are.
it the documentary
and
or
I have
the show?
a connection. No, I have a. It's this one's a movie. It's like a 6-part
Miniseries?
There's two.
It's like a 9-part
now.
miniseries.
So this was the miniseries
Okay.
that the director, they apparently pissed everyone off, and he said it was for entertainment purposes. That's the one he's talking about.
Now, just so you know, I went to their therapist. I went
No
to
shit.
Dr. Jerry.
Yeah, he did a bit about
I
it.
did a bit about it. Dr. Jerry Oziel was my therapist. I went 3 times, and he would go, "Well, what do you think? Tell me what you think." And
Was this before?
This was at the same time. I was on the same list as the Menendez. I was like going to this guy.
Were you called in as a witness?
And I went, no, I didn't know anything about it. He's not going, hey, by the way, my other clients, they killed their parents. He wasn't saying that. He was saying that to his mistress, and so
One of them.
I found this out. This came out in the news, and I was like, I was living in, I think we were living in Canoga Park. And I was like, holy shit, that's my therapist.
That's
He was on the
crazy.
News. So he had to go. Anyway, he kept saying, but he wasn't a great therapist. He really wasn't. He was like, tell me what you think. What do you think about that?
All the time.
And I go, I'm paying you $150 an hour. What the fuck do you think about
exactly.
that? That's
You're
why
the one who went to school for this.
I know what I think, and that's why I keep putting the gun down. So, so what do you think? So that was my therapist, and I only went 3 sessions, and I realized therapy was a bunch of bullshit. And so the Menendez brothers.
That's his opinion.
But what's happened? I think this. I want to know why the Menendez brothers, like they filed something new, right?
They're saying that they weren't allowed to present their evidence of the sexual abuse by their father. And there's a handwritten letter that was supposedly written in 88 to one of their cousins that said, Dad, he's doing it again. It's much worse now. I can't stand lying in bed at night thinking he might come in. That would be a break from the norm to have.
They still murdered their parents. They shot their mother twice in the head. They blew her head off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dad was mean to me and did horrible things. Well, you could have your dad arrested.
Yeah.
You could actually have dad arrested and put in jail forever, but you don't blow his head off. I mean, I understand how you would feel like that, but you're still fucking killed both your fucking parents with shotguns.
The father was a sociopath. And
the kids are sociopaths.
The kids are sociopath's. So they're not real.
A valid point.
And then they're also further damaged by him with the sexual abuse.
The one brother, man, the guy the actor that's playing him is just like, I can't. It's so icky. It's icky. That's the word. Icky. Yeah. It's icky, and I don't use that word a lot, but there's no word. There's no mean word that it's just like, this is the worst. Is this humanity? Is this really humanity? That's how it feels.
Well, that's what we're asking about this MAGA movement. It's like, I feel really disconnected with half of our, how is it 50-50?
Bring up
half
church,
of the fucking
church, that bullet church thing.
Oh God, yeah.
So yesterday, this is what I'm with you on the humanity thing. There is a church where the pastor holds up a gold-plated AR-15. He's wearing a crown made of bullets.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
They had to shut down a nearby elementary school for safety.
Why?
This was in Florida, of course.
Is it?
Of course.
Is this the Moonies?
Florida's lost their mind, by the way.
No, this is...
Not the Moonies.
No.
Wow.
No,
okay.
this is an actual church.
Another one. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
Sorry, it's not in Florida. It's after the school shooting in Florida. A lot of them had a rally in Pennsylvania to hold a commitment ceremony for about 250 couples.
Isn't that like a 5th grader?
The weapons are meant to represent the biblical rod of iron referenced in Revelation. Nearby school district had to move its students to another school. They were concerned about so many armed people. Each of us is called to use the power of the rod of iron, not to arm or oppress, as has been done in satanic kingdoms of this world, but to protect God's children.
If it was just a rod of iron.
Well, this is the Moonies.
Okay.
Because it's Reverend Moon.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize when we watched that thing on him yesterday that that was the Moonies. They've definitely upped their outfits.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The crown is new, I think.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: we're talking about it like it's normal.
Unification church.
There is nothing in the Bible. There is nothing that Jesus preached. Fucking nothing that you can. And the one thing that's been bastardized forever is religion, twisted, reconfigured, reinterpreted, and that we now have a bunch of people who are going at the pulpit with a weapon of death. And claiming that it's God. It's like do you understand why some people are so anti-religion? Because like this can't be okay.
It's not a rod of iron. If it says it's a rod of iron in the fucking Bible, they were probably just talking about a staff, right? Or
rebar.
Whatever.
They were trying to build
some concrete or something.
Yeah, they're gonna get the rod of iron. We got to strengthen this concrete.
AK is not a rod.
So I just it's an SNL bit. The shit that we've accepted over the last 40 years, and that no one has gone. That's fucking nuts. And they still have church status, right? Mm-hmm. They still actually have tax exempt status.
That's so crazy that we have. No,
we need to change.
I mean, we've got some freedoms right there.
I think Ray, did you say something about this the other day? That if you want to be a church, you have to prove that you're doing good works, and you can claim it all on your tax. You can claim it. Okay, if you're giving food to the poor, you get to claim that on your taxes. You get to write that off.
Right.
If you bought your pastor a $14 million estate, you don't get to claim that.
Yeah,
that you got to pay taxes on. But if you have spent that $14 million feeding kids in Africa, if you spent that $40 million housing the homeless, like Jesus said, you can write that off.
Yep.
And that's a legislation thing. We've got
that shit.
We've got
100%. That should be.
If you bought a jet, and unless you're flying diseased lepers around the world to get help, yeah, you can't write that off. You don't. Yeah, I need to be in it because I can't get in a tube full of demons.
Yeah, who was that? Fuck,
that guy.
Kenneth Copeland.
Kenneth Copeland lost his mind.
All right, I gotta go do court work. Sorry,
all right,
guys.
so guys, do me a favor. This week we are going to be at Thursday night. I'm going to be at
Brea Improv,
and then Friday night at Flappers doing my new show. The new show's coming. I was going over it last night. Do you know how many jokes I put in the show? It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy
for a new show.
This show's
and I'm looking for a name for it right now. Glibberty. No, give me Glibberty.
Glibberty?
No, that doesn't work. But guys, go to there. And then next week, we're going to be in Sunnyvale at Rooster T. Feathers. That's my home club. It's literally going back to my kindergarten classroom. First place where I was headlining, where I learned most of my skills. I got to work with Dana Carvey there when I started comedy, and a lot of great comics there. So we'll be there next Thursday. Friday, we're going to be at the Crest Theater in Sacramento. And then Saturday, we're going to be at the Tower Theater in Fresno. Get those tickets. All new show. Ray's doing a whole bunch more of her show. And we have a special guest on the show we're not going to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And you're not going to be stressed anymore, right?
Yep. I just got to go get court stuff done.
Not for us. It's for someone else. It's not for us this time. High five.
Finally.
And now let's go. 4 years ago today. Boom.
4 years ago today. Acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney on Thursday admitted that the Trump administration held back military aid to get Ukraine to investigate Democrats. Then, hours later, walked back the comments.
They're super smooth. Just kidding. We committed a crime that should put us all in jail forever. No, we didn't.
This time in to the Biden-Harris administration.
2 years ago.
The Biden-Harris administration approves disaster declaration for the Agua Caliente band of
Indigenous people.
They helped the indigenous people, save them from like a disaster
relief.
So they were doing things to help people, whereas the other people were trying to actually corruptly get fucking. They did that, and then because they didn't give Ukraine those weapons, then because that was a couple months later that they invaded.
Exactly.
That Russia invaded.
They lost time to defend themselves.
So part of the reason that fucking Russia invaded fucking Ukraine is because the Trump administration. Fuck, man. Yep. And you're going to vote for this dude? Okay. Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
They're not watching you.
I know.
Okay.
But maybe their friends can go, are you stupid? That's, by the way, just ask, are you stupid? Here's the record. Are you stupid? Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Rachel's about to punch me in the face, so we're going to wrap this up right now. Please go to ChristopherTitus.com. Get those tickets to the shows. We'll see you on the road. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray, and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be anyone.
Yay!
Let's listen to Pavarotti sing Ave Maria. Can you hear that? They gave me the Ave Maria with no voice. Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Let's make it into a music.